Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. What an honor it is to be before you guys for yet again another live stream night as we continue our conversations in honor of Financial Literacy Month while we dissect and go through the book by the one and only Dr. Dennis Kimbro, The Wealth Choice. We have been taking this book 10 pages at a time, day after day, and I hope that you all have been getting a lot of value out of the readings the same way that I have. I have been going through a spirit of just reshifting how I think about things, and we're using this time to not only dissect the readings, but to share our revelations, to share our praise reports. Come on, somebody. To allow us to be able to just learn from each other, grow from each other, and support one another while we tap into this wealth space. So we've been reading The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we are now on day 10, which means that we today would have now covered 100 pages of the book. That's so amazing and that's so awesome. I'm going to go ahead and pop out the chat so that way I can see who is here, who is in the building, so I can say hello to my people, because you all know one of the things that I love to do, one of the things that I love to do is to acknowledge the fam and send my hellos and give everybody their praises and their flowers and their acknowledgments for being here in the room. We had a full day today, impromptu execute with me live stream. So shout out to everybody who was there for 4 hours and 10 minutes because we went in. We went in today unexpectedly, knocked some things out. Shout out to Acacia, shout out to Q Scott, shout out to Lisa H, shout out to Lisa Smiles, shout out to Divinity, shout out to Peaceful Love, everybody that came in the room today. I think Tracy Ann even popped in for a little bit. Coach Harut was in the building as well. So all of y'all, thank y'all for sliding in there with me, even though it wasn't announced. It wasn't announced. So I thank y'all for sliding in with me. All right, let me go ahead and pop out the chat and say hello to my family so we can get this conversation started, because I'm excited. And while I do that, y'all know I just washed my hands. So what I got to do, I got to put Lisa Smiles Glow Butter on. Okay, go ahead and put this nutmeg on. I think nutmeg has overtaken my lavender, because I have not even touched the lavender ever since I opened up this nutmeg. So I love this nutmeg. It just smells so good. It smells so good. Praise be unto the Lord. Happy Palm Sunday also to everybody. Palm Sunday. Yeah, Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday to everybody. What a great day. What a grateful day to be alive. I'm lathering. Let me lather. Let me just get my minute to lather before I acknowledge everybody. Shout out to Lisa Smiles. Styles by LisaSmiles.com. Okay, Q Scott is here saying back again. Yes, Q Scott, you are back. And thank you so much for tuning on in and being here in the building. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Let's go. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott, let's go once again. Shout out to Q Scott in the building. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room as we jump into our good old conversations on tonight. We also got Acacia back in the room today. Hold on, let me fix my little hair. Sorry, y'all. We got Acacia back in the building as well. Greetings, DDTV family. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Let's go. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Let's go, 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 let's go. Shout out to Acacia in the building once again. I hope your son had a great first game of the season for his soccer. So I hope he had a good game. Let us know how that went. Let us know how that went. Coach Root is also back all the way from the west side saying, hello. Hey, Coach Root. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here once again. And Coach Root, I just saw your email too about the acronym. Woo, that thing was fire. That thing was fire. That thing was fire. That was a whole testimony. So that was powerful, powerful, powerful. So welcome into the room. Queen Lisa H is back saying happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday to you, Queen Lisa. So good to see you. Welcome, 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 welcome on into this room because you were definitely on the execute with me today. And you was like, we're going to keep going. I'm here. I'm with it. So thank you, thank you, thank you for helping to hold me accountable. Tracy Ann is here saying, hey, fam. Hey, Tracy Ann, all the way from the what? West Side. Let's go, Tracy Ann. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room on today. I hope you're well rested and I hope that you enjoyed church service today. Yes, yes. Sherry is also in the building saying happy Sunday. Hey, Sherry, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. Happy Palm Sunday to you. I'm so glad that you are here. Let's go. Lisa Smiles is back saying happy Sunday. Hey, Lisa Smiles. I don't know if you saw, but I literally just lathered up with that good old what? Glow butter. I was telling everybody that I think the nutmeg is starting to win over the lavender for me. The nutmeg is starting to win over the lavender for me because since I cracked open and tried this nutmeg, I've been rubbing down on the nutmeg instead of using my lavender, but it's all right. It's all right. Got some competition. And when I get this Caribbean Escape, I don't know what to expect with this. It's going to be knocking all the rest of them out of the park. So shout out to Lisa Smiles. Styles by LisaSmiles.com. We got Nakosha in the building saying happy Sunday, ladies. I am here today. Yes, you are. Nakosha, I am so glad that you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. Let's go, Nakosha. Tracy Ann says, pray everyone had a blessed Palm Sunday. Yes, amen. Q Scott says, thank you. Same to you, Tracy Ann. Looking forward to this week, though, through Easter. It is Easter Sunday coming up. It is Easter Sunday coming up. Lisa Smile said, what? You must have heard me talk about the nutmeg then. Okay, you must have heard me. Yes, the nutmeg is winning over the lavender for me so far. I'm just being real. Coach Root says, happy Palm Sunday. Tracy Ann says, hey, Acacia. Go, Acacia. Y'all already know. Acacia said they tied the game 4-4. It was a good game. Oh, great. Great job. Great job. Awesome sauce. Divinity is in the building saying happy Palm Sunday to all. Church was awesome. Yes, church was awesome as well. Acacia, while we were on a live stream, I said, I'm missing out on church, but I was like, I don't know. But Acacia was like, why don't you just put on the sermon in the background, like play it in the background. And I'm so glad that I did because today's service just blessed me. So thank you again, Acacia, for telling me to turn it on because I was going to wait until after the fact, but sometimes I think it's just powerful to just be in the moment. I feel like my forehead is white. I don't know what's going on up here. Okay. But yes, so thank you, Acacia. Thank you. All right. Good job for your baby. Yes. Ty is good as well. Yes, it is, Q Sky. Good job for your baby, Acacia. Divinity says Q Sky, yes. And that's great, Acacia. And Acacia said, thank you. Yes, y'all. So let me give y'all an update before we start. Where's my list? I did pretty good. Where is my list? Oh, it's over here. So y'all know this morning I had 10 items on my list of things to do. And let me tell y'all how much I got done so far. I got 8 items done. 8 items are done. And so there's 2 more items that's going to be left to do. I may just try to power through one of them tonight just to get it out of the way. I'll probably just do as much as I can to get them knocked out. I know one of them I'm not going to be able to finish because it's a lot, but at least one of them I know I could at least put a dent in and possibly knock out. So 8 out of 10 so far is pretty good. And if I can get one more done, that'll be 9 out of 10 that'll be accomplished. So shout out to these with me sessions because they are really, 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 really helping me stay into execution mode. And I think one thing that was helping me as well is that I had the timer running. So I had the stopwatch running so that I could see how long it was taking me on something. So every now and then I would glance up and see the time running, and it will remind me to just refocus. It'll remind me to keep pressing through. It'll remind me to just keep working on what I was working on. So that was helpful. So I appreciate y'all jumping in there with me for this impromptu live stream earlier today. So I knocked out some things. And I think y'all knocked out some things too. Okay. I think y'all knocked out some things as well. Let's go. Q Scott says, drum roll, clapping it up. Congrats. Thank you so much. Acacia saying, way to go, Sophia. Yes, Divinity say, Acacia, A+ for your son's team. That's what I'm talking about. A+ for your son's team. That's right. Let's go. You got to celebrate the babies and acknowledge them for their efforts and the work that they're doing, especially working amongst a team. Okay. Blessings. All right, y'all. Are y'all ready to get into our conversation on today? So today's reading was powerful. I don't know how many of you all caught on to the powerfulness that was shared throughout today's reading, but I had a heavy, just whole bunch of stuff going on in the margins. Y'all already know how I go, but there was so much that occurred in this chapter, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up where we were reading from. And I just realized something. No, let me not get sidetracked. Whatever. I think I scheduled something to come out, so it probably just released, but it's out there now. Okay, so I'm starting from page 90. So page 90 is the mathematical formula that guides all wealth, even though we kind of read page 90 yesterday, but we didn't get to cover it yesterday because yesterday was just really, really good. But today, let's cover this because I think this is important for us to do so. One of the things that stuck out to me while reading page 90 of the book, and I just named the sub chapter for you guys who have the audio book, and oh yes, I did start Clubhouse. So yes, we are audio streaming on Clubhouse. Thank you so much. We're audio streaming on Clubhouse and we are live streaming here. And let me just tell y'all, one of the action items that was on my list was to schedule the Clubhouse so it will already be set. So all I had to do was just open it up and it just click start the room. So save some time. So that was very helpful. So thank you for reminding me of that occasion. But yes, we are audio streaming on Clubhouse as well. Nobody's in the room, but you know, if they catch the replay, they'll be able to see the replay. And you can click the link at the top of this Clubhouse room. So that way you can slide on over to the Debt Demolisher TV and check out one of these live streams that we're doing. So that way you can put a face to a name. Okay. All right. So the powerful thing that I found while reading page 90 was talking about how important it is to add value and how that was one of the things that millionaires often focus on doing. They don't necessarily focus on so much the acquisition of money. They more so focus on the value that they're able to release and share not only to others, but even across the universe and the world, the change that they want to make. So George Gilder, which was a social commentator and a writer, he says that the very process of creating wealth is the possible education for creating more wealth. Economic security is not attained by the possession of money alone. It is attracted by the service one renders, for useful service may be converted into all forms of human needs with or without the use of money. Those who have attained economic security have done so not because they control a vast fortune, but because They provide employment opportunities. They satisfy a need or a want, or they provide goods or services to society. So in short, they add value. So when you think about your role and your desire and your thinking as a millionaire that you know that you are and that you know that you are deserving of, how are you adding value to others? How are you adding value to humanity? How are you adding value to a future legacy? How are you putting yourself in a space where you could say, I'm a value add as a result of what I'm saying, as a result of what I'm producing, as a result of what I'm doing, as a result of what I'm creating? Sidebar, we are doing a Create with Me live stream this Saturday. So make sure that you come ready. I announced the next With Me session on the community page today. Create with Me. We finna put this book to work. We are expanding our minds. We are allowing our minds to transform into the millionaire mindset. And so with that, what are we learning? That the wealthy people create. And so today, well, Saturday coming, we're going to create the space so that we can create together. We ain't just about to speak about it or read about it. We about to be about it in the Create With Me live stream this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope that you'll save the date. Okay. Next, the most important aspect of becoming a millionaire is the person that you must become in order to accumulate $1 million in the first place. Ooh. Ooh. Who do you need to become? This becoming is coming up again. Who do you need to become to be the millionaire that you desire to be? Who do you need to become? A creator, a thinker, an innovator, mentally strong and sound. He says, in order to generate wealth, you will be required to alter your mindset. And I don't know if anybody else's mindset has been altered thus far, but I know mine has. Mine most certainly has. Just even with the example that I shared with you guys yesterday about that feeling that I had after paying that full-figure invoice. I started to feel sad, and then immediately I was like, that's what millionaires do. Millionaires pay invoices. Bruh, if you want to be a millionaire, you better think like one and you better act like one. Shifting from the individual who constantly worries about his or her finances to the man or woman who is fortunate enough to concern himself or herself with everything but money. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. How are you thinking? What is your relationship with money? What is your relationship or your personal belief around money? You must drastically alter your habits if you are to achieve your financial goals. Or as one respondent in the study pointed out, the first million is difficult, but the second million is inevitable. And here's one thing that I wrote in the margins. I wrote this in the margins, and we talk about this a lot, but I wanted to emphasize this piece because granted, essentially, one way to find money or find resources or be able to repurpose money is by cutting what you're already spending. So that's one way. And that way it could always seem a little bit more easier to do first. Focus on, okay, what can I cut? What can I cut? What can I cut? That goes back to my CAP method. That goes back to my CAP method. What can you cut? Who can you ask, or what can you acquire that you could potentially leverage? And then what can you produce? That's my CAP method. So the first part of the CAP is the C, which is the cut. But I want us to focus on the P, which is produce, which coincides with what I wrote in the margin, which is raising your top line. So if you look at your budgets, if you have the My Budget Outline, or even if you don't have the My Budget Outline and you just have a spreadsheet and you have a file that you use and you have your income at the top, you have your expenses at the bottom, and then the difference is your whatever's left over. It's your disposable income. It's your net available. It's whatever is available after your income minus your expenses. In the CAP method, I start out with the C, which is the cutting the expenses to trim the bottom line. But the P is what can you produce, which is what would generate income. And so essentially that increases your top line inside of your budget. So I wrote this raise your top line in the margin because I really want us to think about creation. I really want us to think about producing. I really want us to think about different ways in which we can generate the income that we need to meet the desires of our legacy, of our heart as it relates to our legacy. So raise your top line. So how can you raise your top line? So for me, I'm doing some different things in efforts to see how this is going to work. And so a part of this expansion is going to happen inside of the Create With Me working session that we're going to do here on the channel on Saturday morning, April the 16th, 2022. Will you be in the room? We are going to focus on raising our top line through creation, through exploring ideas, through seeing what do we have inside of here that needs to come out, that somebody may be waiting on, that somebody may be waiting on, and they're ready to pay. For example, I always talk about Lisa Smiles and her glow butter. Lisa Smiles created this glow butter. We had our Budget With Me live stream yesterday, and I tried to go online and order the Caribbean Escape. It was sold out. The Caribbean Escape body butter was sold out because Lisa Smiles had an idea. She did the research. She created her own product and she put it on her site. Lisa Smiles is a natural hairstylist, but she tapped in to her gift, her desire, what she wanted to create, what problems she wanted to solve based on the eczema and the challenges that she had with her skin, put it into a product, and that thing, what? Sold out. Now she got to go make some more because I still want my order, Lisa Smiles. I want my Caribbean Escape. Yes, I'm being selfish. I'm a selfish customer today. I want my Caribbean Escape. So what are you sitting on? What are you sitting on that somebody is waiting to buy from you? We finna find out on Saturday. But nonetheless, raise your top line, because the first million may be difficult to get, but once you reach your first million, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth is inevitable. It's inevitable. I thought this piece was powerful from Earl Nightingale. I don't know if y'all heard of Earl Nightingale, but he was really big into, y'all know, kind of like think George Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, all of that. Earl Nightingale, of course, he's no longer living, but he has some powerful, powerful work. You can even find listen to some of his stuff on YouTube. But he was a writer and a worldly philosopher. And he shared his formula for compensation. Because can we just talk about compensation? Can we just talk about coins? Can we just talk about wealth creation on today? I think it's okay. So we're going to continue on. More than 50 years ago, Earl Nightingale explained that the amount of money you receive will always be in direct proportion to the demand for what you do, your ability for what you do, and the difficulty of replacing you. Your amount of money that you will receive will always be in direct proportion to the demand for what you do. What is the demand for what you do? What is the demand for what you do, either on your career or even in your gift? What is that demand? So I'll be honest, I'm just going to sidebar for a second. I literally just scheduled a video to go out. It went out like 15 minutes ago. And I recorded it in response to a question that I received in my inbox about marketing yourself, or how do you like draw clients in? How did you draw your clients in? You know who you are. You know who you are. I know I said I was going to do the video later, but I just ended up recording it today. So it went out today. And I was talking through this video and just talking through my process and just talking about really like how my whole coaching business, how I started it and how hard it was to get clients, and how people were telling me that I shouldn't be charging to help people with their finances, and all of these different conversations. And when I think about this question in terms of the demand for what you do, I know that there's a demand, or no, I'll say this. I know that there is a need for what I do, but the demand is something different, because a lot of people don't want to admit that they need help in their finances, let alone pay for it. 9 times out of 10, people will want to pay for how you can make them more money, but not realizing getting the healing in your finances is going to help transform your mindset so that you can be able to get more. So a lot of times people pay for a course that will show them promises of getting 12,000 or 5,000, whatever amount of money that they say that they're going to get as a result of implementing these steps or implementing these strategies, not realizing that if they haven't addressed the mindset piece of it, whatever they paid that $5,000 and $10,000 and $12,000 for ain't even going to happen, because they're not even ready for it, because they haven't dealt with the root. They haven't dealt with the root of the issue. So I know that there's a need for what I do, because I share this all the time. I don't give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But what I do is I help you get clear enough to make wise enough decisions so that you can be able to get in front of a financial advisor. It's a whole different approach. It's a whole different aspect. But people don't want to pay for the healing. They want to pay for the dollar. People don't want to pay for the healing. They want to pay for the dollar. They want to pay for the high credit score. They want to pay for the other thing instead of what they really need. So as I was reading through this and even thinking about the video that I just recorded, thinking about my journey so far, it wasn't a demand that they necessarily felt was, at least the people who I was involved in at that time, that was worthy to them for a financial exchange. But they wanted the help, but they just didn't want to pay for it. They wanted the help because they knew they needed it, but for that, they didn't want to pay for it. So that goes back to demand for what you do. When there's a demand for what you do, we're going to get our hair done. What did Lisa Smile say in her live stream one of the nights? That even in the midst of the pandemic, clients were still coming and getting their hair done. Lisa Smile says that her clients said that she was still in their budget, even in the midst of an economic drop. So when there is a demand for what you do, people are going to pay for it. The next one, your ability for what you do. Your ability for what you do. People come back to Lisa Smile's chair because of the ability of what she does. People come back to have another session with me because of the ability of what I do once they get into my space. People come back and say, oh, I want you to, oh, you need to go and talk to such and such, or oh, can you help such and such with their credit? Because you done help me with this and I know that they need this. Because of the result, your ability to get them to a result. The last one is the difficulty of replacing you. People will pay for you if they can't get you nowhere else. People will pay for you if they can't get you through anybody else. So even in the video that I released today, I was talking about being authentic. I was talking about just finding your unique touch. What is unique to you? Like I said, I know can't nobody do it like me. Can't nobody do it like me? No. Can't nobody do it like me? No. Can't nobody do it like me? No. Can't nobody. Can't nobody. Can't nobody do it like me? Why? Because I got God in me? Yeah. Can't nobody do it like me? No. Can't nobody. Can't nobody. Sometimes we got to remind ourselves that we are unique just the way that we are. And our touch is something that nobody else can replicate. So why would we try to replicate somebody else? Why would we try to replicate somebody else? Your uniqueness is what separates you from everybody else. Your uniqueness is what makes it difficult to replace you. So own your uniqueness. Own your touch. Own whatever it is that you're gifted in. And don't try to follow somebody else's suit because they may be getting some type of virality, whatever you want to call it, going viral because of what they're doing. And you want to jump and try it. Make sure that you are difficult to replace by being you and only you. What the Psalm 139:14 say? Beautifully and wonderfully made, because ain't nobody like you. There is no one else like you. No one else on this earth has your same fingerprint. Keep it that way. No one else on this earth has your same fingerprint, so keep it that way. Wealth is the byproduct of a specific mental attitude. I'm reading from page 91. We're getting ready to get down into the quote from the morning. But wealth is the byproduct of a specific mental attitude. We have to choose how we're going to think. We're going to have to choose how to think about wealth. We're going to have to choose how we think about our relationship with money, how we operate in money. This goes back to the example I was telling you guys yesterday. I had a shift. I got chin check in my spirit after that initial feeling, after paying that invoice. I was like, hold on. That's what millionaires do. My whole mindset changed in the blink of an eye, in the blink of a feeling. Let me correct myself. In the blink of a feeling, immediately the words uttered out. That's what millionaires do. This was a powerful piece. When we get into these drivers, but let me go over the quote for the morning. So the morning inspiration quote for today came from the bottom of page 91. And it says that research suggests that 3 primary goals can be found in the mindset of the poor, the middle class, and the wealthy. The primary goal of the poor is survival. The primary aim of the middle class is comfort. And the primary goal or the primary objective of the wealthy is freedom and security. Freedom and security. And this was the quote, the ending of the quote. Your personal belief regarding money eventually will define how much money you earn. Your personal belief regarding money eventually will define how much money you will earn. What do you believe about money? Do you believe that it's scarce? Do you believe that you will always be in lack? Do you believe that there's not enough to go around? Do you believe that you're only set to a specific limit in terms of pay? What did we talk about yesterday? I dropped a video yesterday about limitless. I don't know if anybody went and saw the video that I linked from CBS News about the blind race car driver. I did a quick little video to kind of discuss that clip, and then I'll link the video so that you can hear exactly what he said. It's a powerful thing. A blind race car driver. And what did he talk about? Being clear on your goal and persevering despite of it. Persevere. The only limit you set on yourself is you. The only limit that you have is the limit that you set on yourself. And I was in a mastermind meeting today, and we talked about this very same thing. How crazy it is that the mere planting of a seed can stick with you. Whatever number you say is the number that you're going to get. Whatever number you say is the number that you're going to get. Especially if that's what you believe, if that's what you feel, if that's what you're allowing to manifest and circulate inside of your energy. That's what you're going to see. Planting the seed, planting the seed, planting the seed. What do you believe about money? Then Dr. Dennis Kimbrough goes into the 9 drivers of wealth. And so with this reading, this section reading, we went through the first 5, I believe. I think we stopped at 6. Yes, we went through the first 5. And I can't wait to get to the rest. So on page 92, there's a table where Dr. Dennis Kimbrough has the variable, which is the 9 drivers of wealth. And then he also has what it ties to for those who are the have-nots, and then what it ties to for those who are considered the haves. So let's run through this real quick, starting with the first driver of wealth, which is life. And the have-nots versus the haves. The have-nots focus on survival in life, whereby the haves focus on achievement in life. Number 2 was family unit, matriarchal or patriarchal or legacy. Number 3 was education. And so for education, the have-nots have an education between kindergarten through 12th grade. And the haves focus on lifelong learning as their education. But number 4 is money. The have-nots act rich and they spend and consume. And the haves act poor and they conserve and save. And when I read this part, it reminded me of a Facebook post that I did years ago, probably back in 2000, maybe 2015 or maybe 2016, maybe 2015 or 2016. It's crazy how I remember, because I remember where I was when I wrote the post, and I was at an ex's house. And so I know the year that happened. So it was back then, 2015, 2016. But I wrote in my Facebook post that I would rather have money than look like I have money. There's a difference. And that reminded me of this when I read this. The have-nots act rich and consume, whereby the haves act poor and conserve and save. Because so many of us like to look like we got it instead of actually having it. We want to look like we have it, but we don't really have it. And this goes back to the story that he's going to talk about with the lady named Carla. We're going to read that coming up. Next one, work. The have-nots feel like they have a 9 to 5 and they feel like it's a necessary evil and they are hourly workers. Whereas the have-nots, they have a 5 to 9 and it's considered their life work and they're self-employed. I couldn't even check that box. I could not even check that box. I couldn't check that box because I know that I'm trying to get from the have-nots to the haves in this area. I know that for a fact. The next one was time, present. The have-nots focus on the present and the past, whereas the haves focus on the future. Relationship was number 7. The have-nots focus on social and party relationships, where the haves focus on networking. The next variable, destiny, fate, and dream. The have-nots, they go by chance and they have dreams while they're sleeping. Whereas the haves, they focus on choice and they are conscious and fully awake when it comes to their destiny, their fate, and their dream. It's not a bypass. It's not a happenstance. It's an intention. It's a choice for the haves. And last but not least, I wrote wow in the margins on this. We're not even going to be able to read the full paragraph related to 9 until tomorrow. But I wrote wow in the margins on this just from looking at the table. When it comes to faith and spirituality, the have-nots is to praise, whereas the haves is to practice and focus on possibilities. I said, wow. Wow. And you know what this reminded me of? Faith without works is dead. Because you can have the faith by exercising your praise, but in order for you to demonstrate the work, you got to put it into practice. So that's the difference between the haves and the have-nots when it comes to our faith and our spirituality. The have-nots believe but don't want to take no action. The have-nots want to praise and think that God going to scoop them their way all the way up without them having to do a thing. Whereas the haves, Oh, they're going to praise. They're going to pray. They're going to believe. And they're going to do the work while they're doing it. They're going to practice their faith instead of just mouthing their faith. They're going to practice their faith instead of mouthing their faith. I wrote wow in the margins, y'all. I wrote wow in the margins. I'm just saying, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Put in the work. Focus on the practice. Focus on the practice of your faith. Believing and trusting and knowing. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says, if your outlook revolves around abundance, you will seek freedom. And I think we're all in this space seeking freedom. I believe we're all in this space seeking not only freedom, but also security. So with that, we are already in alignment with what the wealthy people do, with what the millionaires do. They have a wealthy mindset because they're focusing on freedom and security, not survival. It's a difference. Survival and security are two different things. So let's go down to talk about some of these drivers, if that's all right with you all. Hold on now. I received an email invite from our real estate company in Texas. Don't know the person. It was labeled billionaire mindset. Come on, Coach Harut. Billionaire mindset. Hey, that's next level. That's next level. And now that I think about it, we may need to step it up a notch. We probably playing small by thinking about millionaire status. We need to be thinking about multi-billionaire status. We need to be thinking about trillionaire status because of the God that we serve. Trillionaire mindset. Trillionaire mindset. Because believe it or not, you can blow through $1 million like it's nothing, especially with the rate that inflation is coming nowadays. And it's only going to increase as time go on. As time go on, the value of your dollar is going to shrink. So you have to be able to know how to create more of it to still be able to sustain whatever your livelihood is, or whatever your goals are, or whatever your dream is, or whatever your vision is, or whatever your mission is, or whatever your purpose is, because it takes resources to keep these things going. And if we know that the value of the dollar is decreasing every day, we can't get comfortable with earning at the current level that we are, because it won't sustain us. It won't stretch far enough. We can't just solely rely on COLA increases, because half the time the COLA increases is not even enough to cover the inflation, the rate of inflation. Let's talk about driver number one, life, survival, or achievement. When asked this question, what does money mean to you? What does money mean to you? Put it in the chat. And this is something that I ask my clients too. This is crazy, y'all. I ask my clients the same thing. What does money mean to you? What does it mean to you? What does it represent? What does financial independence mean to you? You saying that you want this stuff. What does it even mean to you? What does it represent? Because financial independence to me may not be the same thing as financial independence to you. The meaning of financial independence to somebody else that you're modeling may not align with what really financial independence means to you. So what does money mean to you? What does money mean to you? What qualities will most likely lead to financial success? Think about it. Think about it. I wrote in the margins to this question, and it's not new because I've said this before and I've wrote about this before. And this is, if I go back through any of my journals, my responses is pretty much the same. For me, my driver of achievement, my driver of wanting better is, it's about making a difference in someone else's life for their betterment. I've shared this before. That's what wealth means to me. That's what success means to me. That's what success means to me, making a difference in somebody else's life for their betterment. I'm not thinking about the money. I'm not thinking about notoriety. I'm not thinking about any of the things that people who are acclaimed to fame and who have a whole lot of money a lot of times and are well known for it. My focus is making a difference in somebody else's life, transforming the financial lives of men, women, and children, regardless of age. That's evidence of success to me. And this is why I value so much when you all send me emails, when you do your growth work, when you share your praise reports. Because it allows me to see success in the efforts that I'm doing. It gives me a reason to keep going. It gives me a reason to keep showing up. It gives me a reason to keep being transparent. It gives me a reason to celebrate. It gives me a reason to praise and thank God for the ability to be able to do this in this magnitude. So I don't take your praise reports lightly. I don't take your emails lightly. I don't take your growth work submissions lightly. I don't take any of it lightly. Because it's an indication to me of success in my eyes, not money. How much further can you stretch to reach your full potential? Dream big and dream very big. Work hard, continue to move in the direction of your goals. And once you've done all you can, stay the course. Stay the course. Number 2 is family unit. One of the things that was powerful that I circled on page 94 is that the wealthy place family at the forefront of all non-work activities. He also says that family wealth is not self-perpetuating. Without careful planning and stewardship, a hard-earned fortune can be dissipated within a generation or two. This is why I say, you got to teach your heirs, whoever you leaving your wealth to, they need to know how to manage it. Because if they don't, it can dissipate in a generation or two or even less, to be quite honest. He says at the bottom, seen in this light, the competitive pressure that Black millionaires feel towards their children's education, and this means that Black millionaires, they like to put their children in spaces where they can receive quality education that can position them to advance and enhance further in life greater than the not-haves, to better position them essentially. So he's saying whether it's an Ivy League school or top-rung historically Black college or university, may have less to do with their child's educational foundation than it is with preparing their offspring for generational wealth. How are you preparing your offspring for generational wealth? How are you preparing your offspring for generational wealth? I wrote a whole lot in the margins for driver 3, which was education, lifelong learning, or K through 12. One of the statistics that Dr. Kimbrough includes in here, he says that the National Commission of Excellence in Education reported that 44% of Black 17-year-olds are functionally literate. African-American students are only half as likely as whites to be placed in honors or advanced placement, English or math classes, and are 2.4 times more likely than whites to be placed in remedial classes. He says, according to his survey, the overwhelmingly majority of respondents purchased 20 books per year. And the types of books that they read were either motivational, self-help, or business books. We got to read more. We got to read more. And that's why we're doing this on this channel. And that's why we're reading what we're reading on Patreon as well. We got to be willing to read more. Less entertainment, more education. Less entertainment, more exploration. Because the entertainment ain't giving you no wealth ideas. He says, many reported that during elementary school, they read books independent of any other school assignment. As I was told by a respondent whose net worth exceeds $50 million, this respondent said, far worse than not reading books or attending seminars or self-improvement courses is not even realizing that it matters. So what's far more worse of you not reading books, you not getting into self-development, you not getting into personal development, you not attending courses so that you can learn and you can be able to grow and you can be exposed. What's even worse is you not even realizing that that matters. I thank God for introducing me to personal development. I thank God for introducing me to personal development. Because when I tell you my life changed mentally in 2017, I'm a completely different person. Because the way that I was thinking back then is certainly not the way that I'm thinking right now. Even though there are still some things that come up that try to challenge me, to try to draw me back. But as a result of us reading books like this, as a result of us seeing evidence of it being done through Abundance Now, through 21-Day Financial Fast, Simple Path to Wealth, all of these books that we're reading, we're able to see that there's a different way to think about it and there's a different outlook. There's a different possibility that's awaiting for us. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says, if you would commit to becoming a lifelong student, reading books, attending the classes, networking with like-minded individuals. We got like-minded individuals in this live stream chat. Come on. Then today will mark the first day to a better financial future. We got to choose. And not only that, we have to polish our management skills in addition to whatever our talent is. And that leads me to our title for today's live stream, having the skill and the discipline to manage wealth. And wealth, not just in monetary form, but wealth in terms of your ability to think, wealth in terms of your ability to manage your time, wealth in terms of your ability to have self-control, wealth in terms of your ability to manage other people, to connect with people, to work with people, wealth in your ability to expand and elaborate and act on your ideas, and the ability to manage your skill, the ability to manage your skill, because essentially all of that encompasses wealth. All of that encompasses wealth. So I wrote in the margin that I have to make sure that I focus on polishing my management of self, my management of time, my management of finances and resources, my management of people, relationships, my management of my ideas, my creative thoughts, and the management of my skill. The management of my skill. I wrote something else in the margin that made me get up and shout. I wrote in the margin that my talent is a business. My talent is a business. Your talent is a business too. Your talent is a business. So it's your responsibility to treat it as such. One of the things that I wrote down in the margins as well, in terms of what I create, because I know what I do. I know what I do, and I know what I do well. And not just from an accounting standpoint. I have a way of connecting with people that could allow them to tap into spaces within themselves that they didn't even think was there, or that they didn't even think made a difference as it relates to how they think about their money, how they spend their money, how they use their money, how they leverage their money. And y'all even said it. I break it down in layman's terms. I make it easy to understand. I make it easy for you to get as it relates to you. One of my gifts is also that I'm very personable. Even in a group setting, I've had clients and students tell me that even in a group program, every time you speak, I feel like you're only speaking to me. Personalization. Personalization. I have an energy, a radiant spirit, a radiant smile that just comes natural to me. It's not forced. I'm naturally excited. And people connect with that. People appreciate that. People enjoy when you call them by name. Uniqueness. Uniqueness. And to add on to my skill, I'm very analytical. So I can take something that you say and think of a whole, oh, well, have you thought of this? Or, oh, have you thought of that? Oh, well, just boom, 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 boom. Creative. Creating detailed workbooks. That's like a simulator. that will spit out an output for you based on what you select inside of the workbook. Creative. And it may seem complex to other people, but in some cases, I can create a workbook. I can create a presentation. I can create a slide deck. I can create all this branding stuff myself. Customization. I create financial self-improvement courses and programs. That's what I do. That's what I do. Let me see what y'all got. Let me see what y'all got. Okay, she says, I never looked at my talent as a business, but it's true. Yes, it is very true. Very true. Nikosha says that you do. Thank you so much. Lisa H says, preach, you not lying, Sophia. Coach Ruth says, amen. Q Sky says, absolutely you do. Thank y'all so much. Tracy Ann says, financial independence to me means being able to live a life full of life serving in my purpose and being able to be a blessing to others. Come on, like-minded. Let's go, Tracy Ann. Coach Root says that for her, financial independence is being the philanthropist that she knows that she is, helping people with the tools for people to transform their mindset. We got a transformation mindset coach right here in the building. My mentor, life. Coach Root. Book a session with Coach Root, y'all. Book a session if you need a transformation in your mind. Sherry says financial independence to me means having the financial tools and resources to live life without limits while fulfilling my purpose. Beautiful financial independence, y'all. Lisa A says my financial independence is being able to bless others. Lisa Smile says, I also heard on the audiobook this morning that the wealthy pay their tithes too. The wealthy pay their tithes too. So today at church, I made sure I tithe over my 10%. I'm expecting God to trust me with more. Let me tell y'all something. You know, I got a testimony for that. Because I tried God in that way too, but it wasn't even a try. It was like, I just said, I'm a tithe. I want to tithe to where I want to go. That's what I set my intentions on. I said, I'm a tithe to where I want to go, not where my salary is now. I want to tithe to where I want my salary to be. I stepped foot in church. Service was good. This was pre the pandemic. Service was good. Service was amazing. And at the end of service, we fellowshipping and the co-pastor comes over to me and says that somebody want to meet me. She walks me over to this lady. And this is the same day that I set the intention and walked in church and said, I'm going to tithe to where I want to go. Already had my check written. Ready. And this woman who I never seen, never met, never knew anything about, said to me that I heard your testimony the last Sunday. Y'all know when I was bawling and crying out at the altar. She said, I heard your testimony last Sunday. And she said, the Lord put it on my heart to give you this. She grabbed my hand and she put it in my hand. I couldn't even look at the check. I couldn't even look. I just started bawling, crying, and I started praising the Lord. Because she said, I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to take care of a parent and to take care of two households. I know how hard it is. Bawling, snot, crying all over this woman I don't even know. And I get in the car. And even still, before that, she said, If your name is spelt wrong, let me know and I will rewrite the check. I couldn't even look at the check until I got in my car. Service was over, everybody gone. I got in my car, sat in the parking lot, and I opened the check. I opened the check, and this woman puts a check in my hand that is the exact dollar amount that I paid in excess of tithes, to the penny. To the penny. The exact dollar amount that I paid in excess of tithes. So I told God that I was going to tithe to where I want to go, and God gave it to me right back the same day. He gave it right back to me the same day. Try him. Try him. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. I ain't lying to y'all. Try him. Like Lisa Smile said, I made sure I tithe over 10%. I'm expecting God to trust me with more. Expecting God to trust me with more. That's the kind of faith you got to have. That's the kind of belief you got to have. That's the kind of trust you got to have. That's the kind of heart you got to have to be able to tithe above and beyond and not feel any angst about it. Be set in your mind. Be set in your mind. All right, y'all. What else we got? Hit the like button. Oh, thank you so much, Acacia. Hit the like button. All right. So we are well over time. And we still have so much more to cover. There's so much good stuff. I wrote so much in the margins, and I know it's late. I don't want to keep y'all longer than necessary, but this was a powerful thing. And I wanted to share this before we close out, because this was something powerful too that I read, and it reminded me of something that I had already created when I first started my coaching business. Like when I first started, when I was in this program, and they were like, you need to be doing that instead of doing whatever it is you said that you want to do. You need to be helping people with their finances instead of trying to focus on this network marketing business. And as a result of that, I started to get creative. And I'm telling y'all, I create because I ask myself questions. That's how my mind works. So on page 99, I know I skipped a few pages, but on page 99, we're going to do this and we're going to close out. Prior to any major purchase, the financial elite are apt to ask 3 critical questions. Hear me out, you guys. 3 critical questions. Is this expenditure necessary? Will this purchase add to my wealth or diminish it? Is this an impulse or a planned purchase? These are the 3 questions that the financial elite ask themselves before they buy anything. Any major purchase. Any major purchase. And that immediately reminded me of my spending assessment tool. And if you were in the Vet Your Spending Challenge, y'all got the spending assessment tool. That was one of the templates and freebies that I gave as a part of the challenge. And I was like, oh my gosh, these questions are embedded somehow, some way inside of my spending assessment tool, which is designed for you to do before you make a purchase, to help you decide whether or not you should make that purchase. And even if you do end up making the purchase, I'm going to challenge you on the back end and then tell you, okay, if you decided to spend all of this, or if you wanted to spend all of this, then you need to be able to save all of this. Pay yourself so that you can save yourself. Is it an impulse purchase or is it a planned purchase? That's equivalent to the question that I asked. Is this something that you need? Why do you even need it? Other one, will this purchase add to my wealth or will it diminish it? That's the same question that I asked in the spending assessment tool. Is this a wasteful purchase or a profitable purchase? I ain't making this up, y'all. I ain't making this up. I wrote in the margins, wow. I wish y'all could see it. You can't because of the light, but it's in there. It's in there. It's in there. Okay. Okay. All right. Last driver, and we're gonna go because we're on driver number 5 now, which is work. And I know I skipped one of them. But I skipped money. I don't know. I think I need to read this one. Is that all right with y'all if we go until 8:30? Just give me a couple more minutes. I need us to go through this. So let's jump back to driver 4. Which we were still on anyway. So one other piece from driver number 4 that I wanted to point out was that on page 96, he says that Black billionaires believe in the wisdom of investing part of their earnings for the long haul and benefiting from the rewards of compound interest. They also believe in protecting their wealth by utilizing professional investment advice. And finally, they believe in spending wisely. They are willing to spend money in order to make money, but they are always in a position to tell their money where to go rather than asking where it has gone. Is that not the same thing of tell your money where to go instead of it telling you where it's going to go? You got to be able to manage. Do you have the skill and the discipline to manage your money? Do you have the skill and the discipline to manage your education? Do you have the skill and ability to manage your level of achievements that you're desiring after? Do you have the skill and the discipline to act rich instead of acting poor, or to act poor instead of acting rich? Which one you choose? Which one will you choose? I got to read this about Carla. Everything about the way Julane's friend Carla presented herself trumps that she is living large. A walking billboard of designer labels, she dresses in $900 St. John knits and carries a $400 Chanel bag as she strides up in a $200 Ferragamo pumps to fold her well-dressed self into a $50,000 Lexus. But as the saying goes, all that glitters is not gold. Carla's actual net worth, that is the value of her assets or what she owns minus the value of her liabilities, which is what she owes, is a paltry $20,000. And this is about $50,000 less than someone like her who was 35 years old with an annual income of $60,000 should be worth. She also carries credit card debt of nearly $30,000, which amounts to an alarming 1/2 of her annual income. And that's not including what she owes on her car. If she were to lose her job, she'd be in huge trouble. So this is a prime example of acting rich, looking rich, portraying rich, but you're really poor because you got all of that, but your net worth $20,000. You got all of that. Sometimes your net worth $10,000. You got all of that. And sometimes your net worth is in the negative. So we got to be very, very mindful about what we're seeing that's causing us to dictate how we need to spend and how we need to show up. Because you could be mimicking somebody else that has very poor financial skills, that's looking like they're rich, but they're piss poor. Not just financially, also mentally, but they may not look it. So I wanted to point that out. And then the last driver, number 5, necessary evil, work versus life work. One of the things that several of the responders that Dr. Dennis Kimbrough interviewed mentioned about their number one rule being starting early, working hard, and staying later. He says, whoever can rise before dawn 365 days a year never fails to make his family rich. But beyond sheer hard work, persistence, and grit, other factors are equally, if not more important. He says that the wealthy love their work. Do you love your work? Do you love your work? The financial elite seem to realize intuitively that the key to financial success begins in committing yourself to an inspiring cause that impacts others in a positive way. I think everybody just said that about what financial independence means to them. I think we all said that. The possibility of their business or work being passed on to their children added energy to their attitude. In short, they were driven by something much larger than simply earning a living. The wealthy are ruled by the passion in their heart. When it comes to life and their work, they are completely engaged. The Black financial elite are more apt to place their solid faith-based values into action with consistency that is lacking amongst a lot of the poor. Black billionaires reach the goal of financial independence. Sure, everyone wants to win the lottery, and even the wealthy play it for fun, but they don't spend half of their paycheck on tickets, and winning the lotto is not their primary strategy for creating wealth. As the number of respondents have openly stated, it should dawn on people that with the lottery, as with any other form of gambling, the house wins and the neighborhood loses. Create your wealth. And in order to create your wealth, you got to have the skill and the discipline to manage the creation, to manage your process to wealth, to manage your process to your abundance, and to teach while you're gaining it along the way so that you can pass the knowledge on and not just the values on a piece of paper. Whew. Lisa H says, I appreciate every minute of this session. Thank you, Lisa H. Queen Lisa, thank you. Acacia says, that's what the vet your spending challenge did to me. Amen. The link to the vet your spending challenge is in the description box of this video. You can register for 2022. This is the annual thing that I do. It'll be live streaming here on the channel. But if you want the templates and all the good stuff, you can register at no cost to you. It's registered for 2022. That'll be starting in November. Bet your spending challenge. Thank you, Acacia, for that. Coach Aru says, pay yourself so you can say you save yourself. That's right. And Q Sky says, yep, bet your spending full circle. Exactly. All right, y'all, we went over. I apologize. But I told y'all today was good. Today's reading was good. And so tomorrow we're going to continue on with our reading. We'll be reading the next 10 pages of the book. So we'll be covering 101 to 110. And then we'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to post the community post in the morning based on the quote and then the reading assignment, just to give everybody a reminder in case you miss it. But we're reading 101 to 110, and that will actually allow us to close out chapter 2. So we're closing out on chapter 2. For those of you who have the audiobook, you're going to stop at chapter 3. So chapter 3 is going to be for what? Tomorrow night's reading, and not tonight's reading through tomorrow's reading. So stop at chapter 3 if you have the audiobook. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead on and sign off. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. Y'all already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Get to work. All right. Bye. See y'all tomorrow.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.